Spanish versus Italian. Can they understand each other? Because to us, they sound kind of similar.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see if they are the same. I'm sure there's some similar words in there, right?
See?
There's gotta
See?
be. Yeah,
That's they both mean yes.
ciao. Oh,
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 maybe that's as deep as it goes.
yeah.
All right, let's do it. Here we go.
Hello! Well, at the beginning, I didn't understand anything because people, obviously, in their native language, they speak so fast.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I was catching was like ciao and grazie. But ini, all was, to me, was
Ini?
very ni, with more ease. I don't know, like ini sound, I don't know why.
Ini,
like
ini.
tortellini.
Tortellini,
That kind of sound.
Okay.
So everything was for
Tortellini,
me.
arancini.
Okay, if I
Or
put
is-
There's a lot of
in
ease.
the Spanish,
Yeah.
maybe sounds like Italian. I was thinking like that. But, oh.
We have, on the other hand, Italians, they think that if you just put an S at the end of the Italian word, then it's going to be Spanish.
Yeah,
Io
Interesting.
sono su Stefania, so then that's going to
because
be
in Spanish sounds very
Yeah,
with
it's all S, and J here, J there.
Pizza?
Quale paese vuoi visitare?
Quale visitare? The middle?
Quale paese vuoi visitare?
I don't catch the middle. Still not catching. the
Interesting.
Quale paese vuoi visitare?
middle. Okay, countries. Okay, to visit. Which countries you want to visit?
Okay, right.
Wow, that was so fast.
In Italy, I'm quite fast.
Okay,
speaker,
okay. Yeah, well, also me in Spanish. Well, I would like to visit all the countries actually. Don't have any, yeah, now.
Favorite one?
Not favorite one, but the moment.
But like right now, you feel like, oh, I want to be here. I would like to go here and take a ticket, a plane to that place.
Well, I would like to visit Australia because it has to be very exotic, like very different. Also Japan because never been there and it's closed. Yeah, I mean I want to go to
Not Italy.
How do you say it? Firenze?
Too late.
I want to go to Firenze.
Too late.
Sorry.
Too late. Sto morendo di fame, andiamo a mangiare qualcosa.
Ah, okay. Again. Please.
Sto morendo di fame, andiamo a mangiare qualcosa.
Okay, yeah, I can catch it for the Catalan. I am hungry,
Uh-huh.
but I'm
Interesting.
very, very hungry.
Uh-huh.
So let's go to eat.
Oh.
That would be.
Okay.
I don't know.
I wonder if it's like
with Catalan.
just like sections of the word that they can recognize that can tell them the full word basically, or like if it's the exact same word just with like a strong accent. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It would be more if we knew a little bit more about each of these languages, it'd probably help us a bit. But
Yeah, my Spanish isn't kicking in enough for this. My
no.
3 years in high school.
When you don't speak it, it goes away quick.
And with the Spanish, obviously the first part, like sto morendo.
I'm dying.
Yeah, I'm dying.
Of
In
hunger.
Spanish,
Of hunger.
is estoy muriendo. So that's very similar.
Oh, okay.
After I
Interesting.
have with hungry, I have like it was very fast, so I have confused. But it's a verb that we listened to many
Andiamo?
times. Yeah, andiamo and that kind
A mangiare.
of situation. I saw many Italian people
Using that.
yeah, also in Spain when they are traveling and they let's
Vamos.
go. Yeah, so
It's
Italia
It's
amiamo la-
funny because it's similar to us in a way, except it's not our native language. It's just what we learned in school with Spanish. Like when somebody speaks to you in Spanish, you try to find the words you know and then try to connect it in your head to make it make sense.
I mean, that's my entire understanding of. We usually are in the Philippines a lot of the time, and that's like my entire understanding of a lot of when people speak Filipino, because Filipino mixes Spanish words and
English
like
words.
the local Filipino words and English words. So I literally listen for the English words, the few like prepositions in Filipino that I might know, and then the Spanish words, and maybe I can piece together a sentence.
So usually it's just they say some English place that you know, and you're like, wait, I know what they're talking about now.
Oh yeah, and then look at their gestures and base everything off of that.
It's pretty much how you got to do it.
La pasta però non la mangiamo tutti i giorni.
Okay, in Italy, pasta and giorni.
And what?
Yeah, I mean, right there, she got the like
Giorni.
parts that we could understand too. Italy pasta.
So, like you.
So they're
don't
not
eat
that similar,
everyday
apparently.
Pasta.
Oh.
Because it's like
But the first verb, what was that? In Italy, pasta, what's among those two? In Italia amiamo la pasta, ma non la mangiamo tutti i giorni.
okay. It's to love because amar is in Spanish. Amare.
Amare.
It's very similar,
Yeah.
but
I see.
it's a fast way
Yeah.
of speaking that.
And I think also the accent that we have when we talk, it's different to the one you use when you speak in Spanish.
Yeah, the Italian sounds more musical. Like they sing more, like
Is it?
waves more than the Spanish.
I don't realize that we are doing this, but my friends are always like, "Yo, you talk like this." I'm like,
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Has reason. ¿Qué sabes? Wait.
She cannot speak
I
Spanish.
want to do it fast to confuse her.
No. why?
¿Qué sabes sobre España?
What do I know about Spain?
It didn't
Wow.
work.
I know that you are a beautiful girl.
Oh, thank you so much. That was lovely, but that is what you know about Spain?
I know about history. I know about
Okay.
because it's Spanish. Saber, it's
Saber.
saber. Yeah.
Oh.
So in Italian we say sapere.
Yeah.
So it's similar.
Saber.
No,
To know. To know. Saber. Sapere.
And
Yeah,
then
super
it's
similar.
¿Qué sabe?
¿Qué sabes?
¿Qué
Because I'm
sabes
talking about
about
you.
you, yeah.
¿Qué
It's so
sabes
interesting.
sobre
I mean, here
España?
too,
So
like
que in Italian.
for like the Filipino language, how are you is "Kamusta" versus Spain, it's "Cómo está." Spanish, it's "Cómo está." So I mean, it's like I could see that it's kind of a similar, like they're all kind of, you know, close enough, but not the same words. It's just like right there.
They all derive from like the same probably language beforehand, from Latin or whatever they
Yeah.
was the dominant language at the time in both countries. Because I mean, the Romans kind of owned Spain at that time too, so it probably played a role. So I don't know. It's very interesting. I mean, and then you go over to Latin America, and their Spanish is slightly different than Spanish. It's
And
very
even each
interesting.
country, like if you would talk to a person from Chile versus Mexico, it's going to be very different because of the geography.
Yeah, they have different accents and stuff too that we probably don't pick up on as much
No.
because to us it all just sounds the same, but to speakers of the language they're like, whoa, that's different.
Italian we also say che. Che cosa? Sabes, you know, sai in Italian. Sobre, it's a bit different because we say sulla, Spagna, España, it's Spain.
The construction of the sentence is the same, so it makes
That
easier
helps
too,
to
for
understand each other. Estoy muy cansada. Tomemos 5 minutos de descanso.
She is really tired, she wants to rest for 5 minutes.
Wow.
She's doing the Italian doing a
heard
great
many
job.
times this thing that Italian people, they understand
Yeah.
easier and faster and better Spanish people than Spanish people, Italian people.
But on
Yeah.
the other hand, if I
Interesting.
have to speak, of course, I'm not going to be that good.
So it's
listening
more
is
the
much
listening.
easier, yeah. But for speaking, of course, I have to know the language to know what you're talking
So I
about.
wonder why
But
that
for example,
is.
Es
Yeah.
cansada?
Es cansada.
Estoy cansada.
Cansada, yeah, sorry. Estoy cansada is different from Italian. So I know the word cansada, which means tired.
How
but
is
in
it in
Italian, we
Italian?
say stanco.
Stanco.
So it's really, really different.
Yeah,
But I knew
there is
that's
some words that are very different, but I mean the 80% you
Yeah.
can.
Similar.
Yeah, but I think the Italian people, they struggling more in the pronunciation
Yeah.
when they speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Like you can feel so, I guess the same when the Spanish people, we speak Italian. Italian accent is really, really
Yeah.
peculiar.
So for example, if I say, hola, mi nombre es Stefania, you can understand.
I understand in Estefania that you are Italian. Because the way that she says, I would say Estefania.
Stefania.
The accent,
Yeah.
she is changing the position of the accent. So there is where I catch her
Yeah.
that she is Italian.
Why I have to say this? Italian people is going to hate me. Okay.
Me encanta la pizza de piña. Y me
That's a
encanta
sin.
comer pasta con ketchup.
No, this is so embarrassing. I don't want to understand this one. I don't want to understand. Yeah, I like pineapple pizza.
Yeah.
And I love, it charms me, pasta with ketchup.
Yeah, me encanta comer pasta con ketchup. That's horrible. Pasta con ketchup. Seriously?
You know, actually, thinking about it, the crazy thing about this video is they're trying to understand each other in their languages, but then they're also translating everything they say into English. And their translations could be slightly different based on like how they'd learn that word in English too.
Yeah, definitely. That's another element to all of this. It's so interesting.
There's so much going on. We're just Americans. We just speak English. Hey,
Hola.
how's it going?
Hey.
Buongiorno. Ciao.
Grazie.
Exactly. We know what we're doing.
It's that.
Some
No,
horrible
it's a
people.
crime. It's a
Some
crime.
horrible people. Yeah.
Yeah, because all the
similar.
words are very similar.
Yeah.
Like the two sentences are using like me encanta, I love.
But you say, how do you say pineapple again?
Piña.
Piña? We say ananas. You don't say
Yeah,
ananas?
no,
Oh, that's
no.
different.
I understand ananas because it's similar also to the Portuguese, I guess. It's Latin, right? It's a Latin word.
I don't know about that, but I thought that people, like, we say ananas because they say ananas also like in Latin America and Spain.
Yeah, I think some places,
Yeah,
but
so-
no, in Spain we say piña. And well, pizza and
Interesting.
pasta is Italian
Ketchup.
word. Comer,
comer,
it's
eating.
very common verb. It's a
Yeah.
basic verb in Spanish. That sentence
That's
was not very
also
difficult.
different. Like they say comer to say to eat, but in Italian we say mangiare. So that one is quite different.
Oh.
But like basically most of Italian people they know some basic Spanish words, so it's easy.
Yeah.
Actually, I studied Spanish for 3 years in high
Well, that probably
school,
helps.
So it's
Yep.
3 years.
yeah. So if I wasn't able to understand something, probably my teacher would come here and like, how dare you? So I'm kind of happy I could understand, but I realized this time there are many different words from the Italian one.
I could understand everything, but she is so fast speaking. It's a long time that I was not hearing the Italians. It was refreshing. I felt like, oh, okay, listen again, the Italian.
Yeah, me too.
So
same.
nice.
I was getting ready. Okay, this is a test. You can do this.
Yeah.
Well,
So today we played a game.
it's a very interesting video. I think, languages like that are similar, that especially non-native speakers think sound super similar, is so interesting. And then the fact that there's so many different accents of all these languages and these similarities and these slight differences, it makes everything so interesting to learn about and to see two people interacting like this.
It's hard for us as English speakers to understand because we only know about different accents specifically. Like, there's no like language that is necessarily so similar to English. Like, people talk about how like the German and English come from the same language family or whatever, but they're still so far apart that you're not going to understand anything in German. So it's hard for us to understand.
We're just stupid English boys. I mean, all these English boys, English-speaking boys. All us dang English-speaking countries, we're all notoriously horrible at learning other languages, apparently.
Yeah. It's interesting too that I think the question of like, oh, why Italians could understand the Spanish a little bit easier is probably just because Spanish media is more prevalent and people are more likely to learn Spanish. And like, for an Italian, I would guess the other languages you would hear the most spoken are English, then Spanish, versus for someone from Spain is probably English, then like Portuguese, then French, then Italian.
Yeah, you'd think. I guess we don't know 100% sure or what like type of people travel to Spain or Italy more than other places, but it is very interesting to see all this happen. But languages, we know very little about many different things. We've been to a lot of countries and we don't pick it up well.
We know like one word in a lot of languages, but that's about it. Madloba, am I right?
Exactly. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.